Take it out of here. You refueling for your next one, huh? Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling, winning Wednesday. Man, it feels strange being back on the computer again for this. Welcome to day 896. I know in the description it says 897. I'll be changing that as soon as we finish the live, because when I saw the 7, I thought, that doesn't sound right. So I checked and it wasn't. But today is Winning Wednesday. So what wins are you celebrating today? I'm celebrating the win of learning new things today, how it's all in the sauce, but maybe not all. And you're going, what the heck are you talking about? Because you spelt sauce wrong. No, I didn't. I spelt sauce exactly how it's supposed to be. So today we were learning about finding documents that help that. So we've got our research plan set up. We're looking for answers to the questions that we have, and so we find a source that we think might be what we need. But now we have to verify, is it the right source? So there's times when, and I know this one very, very well because of the number of things I've had to do. In my dad's side of the family, the last name is Eakins. And in England during the 1800s, it's like as common as Smith. But fortunately, we know that there is a particular area that our Eakins came from. So we concentrate on that area and start researching those. The problem was I was trying to find third or fourth great-grandfather. Can't remember, but the most common names during that time, first names during that time, in no particular order, was John, George, Thomas, William, and James. And I had to find a John Eakins. Yeah, I might as well been looking for John Smith. I went through 183 John Eakins to find the right one. And there were more to go after that. I can't remember the exact number after. I just know I went through 183 to find the right one. But what it was, okay, I know that he was born in this area at this time, and I know who he got married to. Now I need to kind of backtrack a little bit. I didn't know who his parents were. I knew he had brothers. I knew the brothers' names. I had found him on a census with his family, and was able to track that back. I had a chart set up so I could compare the different ones. And as I eliminated the John Eakins, I would take them off the chart. They'd go on to the second page. But on the first page of an Excel spreadsheet, I would have all of the information down the side, and across the top, I was putting the different John Eakins with their birth dates and everything, or their baptismal records, that sort of thing, and going through to find the one that I needed. And this was back early 2000s. So not long after records started to get online. And I wasn't even sure if the records would even be online. I also got CD sets as well, which had records digitized on them that weren't online. So at the time, back in the early 2000s, when like Ancestry and Family Tree Maker and all of those were just starting to get going in the electronic world, Family Tree Maker is a program you can actually put on your computer. It now syncs with Ancestry. I'm not sure which else it syncs with. But at the time, there weren't a lot of records online at the time, but they did have CD sets available that you could purchase, and you could search the CDs and all of that sort of thing. So I ended up with a whole bunch of genealogy CDs, and it was kind of cool. But I had to go through 183 John Eakins to find the one that fitted in my tree. So using the source that I had, which was him on a census report, and then going through and finding each person, I had to go find each person on that census report. So it would help me narrow down. But so you take a source, and the source could be a newspaper article. It could be a journal entry. Like one of the examples we had today was a journal entry from our instructor's ancestor. I can't remember how many greats she was, but had this journal entry that she wrote when she was like 83, that were like in her 80s or 90s, 80s. And she had mentioned several people in there around the time they were born, when they came to the States, and all of this, So then we had to set out and prove, is the source a good source? And by looking at the names. So we had to put the people's names in the chart down the side there. Then we were looking, where could we go to find these different records and everything else? And we'd put the records areas up the top, and then we would start filling in the gaps. Did we find them on this resource? Yes. Oh, here they are there. We found their birth record. We found this person's birth record. We found this person's death record. We found this couple's marriage record. So it was then verifying the information that had been written firsthand by the person who had experienced it. But of course, 80 years old, is the memory still good? Is the information they're giving? So this is why when you write down when you're writing out your story and everything out, it's good to get it out of your brain. It is good to get it out of your brain. But then later on, can somebody then go and verify with documents online as to how true your recollection is? And there'll be some things you can and some things you can't. But it's taking that source. Oh, here's a really good source. We've got this person's journal, right? Well, let's start verifying the information that's in there and finding the records. And sometimes you may not be able to find the records because it could be a different name that the person went by. I've come across that where the person uses their middle name instead of their first name. So is this the right person? And then having to go in and verify. So it was kind of fun today going through that and looking at the different types of documentation they had up there and going through and verifying, is this source a good source to help us with our research to answer this question that we have. So that's what we were all about today. And then tomorrow is, I don't even know what we've got on tomorrow. My brain's fried. I just got back from an awesome walk outside with Zeffie. But yeah, it was a really good day today. It was awesome. It was amazing. So very grateful to be part of that today. And the instructor was actually really good about staying on time. Yes, we went over a little bit, but he was consciously aware of the time most of the time. So that was really, really good. And very much appreciated by, I think, a lot of people that were in the class that he stayed online. But anyway, it was a really good day. I learned a lot. I had to got a couple of questions in on my second great grandmother that I'm researching for my assignment, which is due in on Friday. I think it's due on Friday morning. I got to go check my assignment sheet again. But I'm taking the night off. I'm actually going to go and put something on for dinner and go make myself some dinner and then kick back, relax, and put my feet up. I've spent the last 2 nights sitting at the computer. And I'm sort of like, I'm just done with computers for the day. When you've been on the computer since, like 8 a.m. on Monday morning, then Monday evening we had a presentation on, and then by the time that presentation finished, I was working on my homework. And then yesterday I was back on again at 8 a.m. and I didn't get to bed till I think it went 10 o'clock Monday night. And then yesterday morning back on at 8 o'clock all the way through. We had presentations at lunchtime. We had a little bit of afterwards. We didn't have any presentations last night. So I took a quick nap and then took Zeffie for her walk and didn't do my live till later on. Couldn't get on live. So I had to record and upload. So I set it to upload and went to bed. So I have no idea what time it actually uploaded or anything. But I saw that it was there. So that was good. Got woken up. What time did we get woken up? It was some early hour. It was close to when I think I had like 2 hours, like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, somewhere around 3. We got woken up with a car alarm going off. And I was sort of like, I come to and I'm hearing this noise. I'm like, that is not my alarm clock. I'm like laying there thinking, oh, it's time to get up. And I'm like, no, hang on, that's not my alarm clock. I thought it was my alarm clock. No. Was my phone going off with an alarm that I forgot to turn off that I had on, that I somehow turned on? No, that's not that. And then I realized it was a car alarm. And then the car alarm stopped, and then this dog started up barking. The moment the dog started up barking, Zeffie flew across the bed and down to the front window to look out what's going on. So obviously the dog had some sort of warning sound, or I don't know, maybe it was the type of bark that Zeffie had to go see what was being barked at. Then the dog finally stopped barking, and just as I'm starting to doze off again, another car alarm goes off. And I know it wasn't the same as the first one, because when the first one went off, I opened up the window, opened up the blinds in my bedroom right beside my bed, and looked out to see if I could see where it was coming from, and there was no flashing lights. The second time it went off, I did the same thing, and the house across the road and one across, well, their lights were were going until they stopped it. And I was sort of like, is this going to be the rest of the night? And then I managed to get back to sleep. And then my alarm woke me up this morning. And then our day started again. And I was back on the computer at night, 8 o'clock this morning. I'm sort of like, I am so done with computers for now. So I'm signing off. Going to go have a nice, restful, relaxing evening. So I am refreshed because I am tired after an interrupted night's sleep. So go have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for, hang on, what day am I on? On Wednesday? Yeah, so tomorrow's Thursday. Thankful Thursday. Yay! Made it to Thankful Thursday, which means I've got 2 days of class left. And then I won't have to start an hour. I have to tell you, this starting class at 8 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time, it's not killing me. It's just scrunched up my morning that I feel like I'm constantly rushing. And I know I've got 3 hours from when alarm goes off to when I have to sit down in front of the computer to get online. Well, less than 3 hours. But I kind of like the other time because then I can take my time. I can, like the manifesting challenge I'm doing, I like going into the group and reading other people's posts and commenting on them, but I haven't been able to do that as much this week because of the class. And I'm really missing that. I'm missing that portion of my morning. So I get that back on Monday. So I'm kind of excited about that. But anyway, I'm out of here. Have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow morning for Thankful Thursday. Hey, konara.